Tuesday edition of Crane & Company. Subscribe, like, follow, indulge, enjoy, become.
Follow, but lead.
Follow, but lead
also
as well. I do want to say I got a great show. We're talking about Big 12 expansion. Tim Brando dropped some news yesterday, and then all of a sudden it started getting picked up by other people. Outkick talked about Colorado and Arizona being a done deal to the Big 12. We're going to talk about that. We've got 5 humongously big sports questions. They're massive. Everybody's scared to death about them. We got It's Mid today. That returns. We've got reactions and our top 5 best sequels ever. All right, there's a lot of bad ones. There's also some good ones. And I got one I think is going to blow y'all's mind. But I do got to say, before we start rocking and rolling, last night for the hockey game, me and the wifey, we're watching Couples Retreat. She'd never seen it before with Vince Vaughn. And I got to the part where they're on the island, Eden, whatever, and the therapist, who's the same person who played, what's his name, from The Hangover, the Asian guy from The Hangover.
Kim?
I forgot what his name on there was. But all of a sudden, Reed looks and goes, "Hey, that's the actor from The Hangover, Kim Jong-un."
I think his name was Kim in the movie.
No, yeah, and his name's
Kang Jong.
Yeah, his name is Ken Jeong is what he goes by.
Yeah, so.
But instantly, when it left her mouth, she knew that she was wrong. But she looked at me, she's like, "Please don't say that on the show tomorrow," which is the last thing you want to look at me and say if you don't want me to say something on the show tomorrow. So I had to get that out of the way.
Yeah, and better news. David, what's your thoughts on aliens?
I don't know anything about aliens.
What do you mean you don't know anything about aliens?
David, they found it.
Another spacecraft got found.
Whistleblower came out yesterday.
I mean,
it was everywhere.
I did see that. What did he say?
Oh, just
he's like, man,
basically that they've had them spacecraft from another entity, another planet, another solar system, whatever, for a while. Which we all knew this.
Yeah.
You know, if you're
awake. Seen the Bob Lazar doc?
Whistleblower. Like, hadn't there been whistleblowers for the last couple decades? Like,
yeah,
hey, aliens are real. The guy in Independence Day, remember? They took him up.
Do you know who Bob Lazar is?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Have you seen his doc or his interview with Rogan? Be a good watch, man.
Yeah,
watch.
You need
I know you won't believe anything he says, and I get it, and that's fine. You're a skeptical person, I understand that. But give it a listen to him. You know,
skeptical. David's hiding something. You can say skeptical. I can tell when he's hiding something.
I'm from Earth.
You're from Krypton.
You're from Krypton, don't lie. Just look at you.
It's beautiful. You're welcome for the compliment.
If I was saying that somebody was from a different planet, I'd be like, I don't know, they'd probably be, about 6'7", unbelievable skin. I've never seen you have a zip before.
I've never seen you
sweat. I've never seen you sweat before. Your hair doesn't move. Well, you look like everybody put together. All right? It's the truth, David. I'm sorry.
That's pretty good.
The Big 12's looking to add Colorado and Arizona, possibly more. The Golden Knights obliterated the Panthers in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And Michael Vick is up for the College Football Hall of Fame. Should he be inducted? We look at the numbers and the off-the-field issues. I'm Jay Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. Now, I wasn't alive in 1967 for the Summer of Love, but when it seems like it comes to conference expansion, the Big 12 shares similar views. And with new Commissioner Brett Yormark saying they are definitely open to expanding even more, the question now becomes, is that a good thing or a smart thing? Well, since it seems we're heading down this path anyway, I think they're going to end up with 4 super conferences, then my answer is yes. The Big 12's already adding BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, and Central Florida. And like the old saying goes, you need to get in while the getting's good. Now, there are only so many legitimate ads out there, and we know the big dogs like the SEC and the Big Ten are definitely going to get theirs. So in order to not only survive, but thrive, the Big 12 cannot be afraid to make more moves. Now, our good friend Tim Brando said yesterday he expects Utah, Colorado, and the Arizona schools to jump ship after USC and UCLA decided to go all Lewis and Clark across the country to the Big Ten. Now, having the holy war in your conference, that's elite. Having the PR lightning rod that is Deion Sanders is elite as well. But it wasn't that long ago that most people had left the Big 12 for dead. And nothing makes you more aggressive or open than seeing your life flash before your eyes as a conference. Now, regardless of whether you like conference expansion or contraction, as some have called it, smart business is smart business. And at least to this point, your mark hasn't missed their mark at all. I'm going to go and bring in my co-host, David Cohn. Well, I almost struggled on the landing there. Former Michigan quarterback, and Blaine Crane, former Western State Colorado wide receiver, and a pretty good cooker of corn dogs. Better than what you thought.
Really?
Anything that involves a glizzy, I'm pretty phenomenal at.
Yeah. Blaine he's the Leonardo da Vinci of glizzy making.
I need to come over more.
You need to. Not as good as
I have an open door policy,
friends, but he does.
Just open it.
At the
Just open it.
circus,
You're there.
At the fair. When they made the corn dogs. Is that where you got that?
He was the
talent?
bearded lady.
Mm-hmm. Still him.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
Well, you know what they say? It's crazy in now society. It's like, what are all the freaks going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like the guys at the circus can be like, guys,
It can't be any different.
It's just normal now. You're normal.
I have a job.
Yeah. But David, boy, that took a turn. When it comes to expansion, if you're
I hate to see it.
Yeah. And again, but see, like my question's not, are you for conference expansion? It is, if you're the Big 12, you almost have to be more aggressive because once the SEC and the Big 10 throws that bait in the water, everybody's going to come calling.
I agree with you 100%. What are you going to do? Just sit back? Now, I mean, you're going to lose your two biggest brands in Oklahoma and Texas. And a couple surprising things here as it relates to the Big 12 and the Pac-12 is the news of Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12 struck first, right? And we all thought, man, that's going to be the death of the Big 12. Think about it. We're only a decade removed from Nebraska and Texas A&M both leaving too. That's four of the biggest brands in the conference. And then all of a sudden we get USC and UCLA are going to leave the Pac-12. And now it looks like the Pac-12 is in a lot more trouble. The Big 12 immediately goes and picks up, I think, four great contenders.
Yeah,
I think
good
Central
markets
Florida and Houston. That's another thing is it's picking up the big markets, which I think is a reason that's been part of the Big 10 strategy. When you look at Rutgers being in the Big 10 now and Maryland, they're trying to pick up those markets, right? So that much makes sense. So now if you're the Big 12 and you're already going to lose Texas and Oklahoma, but you've added these four new teams, which we're going to get to see this fall, now you can't sit back and just wait. Deion Sanders isn't going to coach at Colorado for long. We know that. But if you can get Colorado, especially while Deion Sanders has a lot of momentum there from a PR standpoint, and you can add Arizona to an already premier basketball conference for sure, that's a big get. The other side of this for the Pac-12 that's interesting is, one, we're on the precipice of what I think could be an outstanding season for the Pac-12.
Best one they've had.
They are going to be elite at, first of all, they're going to have some of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think they're going to play some of the best football in the country, which leads me to Oregon and Washington. What happens there? Do Oregon and Washington almost control the fate now of the Pac-12? Because if Tim Brando was right yesterday and Oregon and Washington are going to jump ship to the Big 10, what's going to be left of that conference? Who could they possibly add? And will it just be inevitable to be four Power 4 conferences?
Yeah, Blaine, I think it's inevitable we get to four Power 4. If Utah leaves, it almost, in my opinion, forces Oregon and Washington to have to leave. Because again, I mean, who's left out there for the Pac-12 to go? And I'm not talking about grabbing Gonzaga for basketball. I'm talking from a football standpoint. Who's left? Look, San Diego State, great institution. It's in a great spot, not a bad market. But you're not replacing USC and UCLA. There's no Fresno State, love them. I feel like we are watching, and the greatest irony of all David brought up is that this is probably the best year. The Pac-12 there's a very good chance to be the second best conference in college football this year, in my opinion. Some people could argue maybe first. I don't agree with that. But Blaine, if you're Utah, all right, and you're looking at the fit in the Big 12 with them adding BYU, to me it's a no-brainer.
I mean, yeah, if you're Utah, why not? And when it comes down to Oregon and Washington, you're going to get stuck in a situation where you find yourself in the club at 2 a.m, there's a bunch of 6s around, and you have to pick one.
Yeah.
You know, that's never a fun situation to be on. But if I'm Utah, there's a couple things. I mean, one, I feel like you fit well in the Pac-12 just because of the way you play football. There's not a lot of teams like Utah, the way they play football is a downhill running team, and we're going to play really good on defense, right? That's what Utah does. That's why I have so much success in the Pac-12. You can go to the Big 12 and have this. You're going to be one of the top-tier teams in it, I think. But I think it's going to be a little bit different, especially from competition-wise when it comes to the defensive side, because there's a lot of difference in Pac-12. We're going to score a lot of points and not play a lot of defense, especially with USC and Oregon. But if you're Utah, I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gone.
I'm gone. The first chance I get to go, I'm gone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Utah go pretty soon.
Yeah, and we were going to talk about this yesterday. We ran out of time. Having different schools or having in conferences the same schools but different sports, right? So, for example, if you had Gonzaga was just a basketball-only ad and didn't have football, I have no problem with that as long as you're not in the same division or not even talking about FCS or Group of Five, Power Five, whatever. But I'm fine if basketball is Division I and football, there is no football. You're like Villanova, where basketball is Division I and football is in a lower division. Where I have a problem with that is when you start having different sports in the same division in different conferences. I don't like that. To me, it muddies the waters too much. That's something we're going to get into probably a little bit later. But you guys know what time it is. All right, the NBA Finals are here. We're already 2 games in. It's going back to Miami, 1-1. A lot of people are shocked it got split, including us. But if you want to get in on the action, there's only one place to go. That's over at DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can make a $5 bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Kapow! Just like that. All right, so wondering what you can use the $200 in bonus bets on? Same game parlays. That's what I do. I love the stat combos. So open the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, place the same game parlay on any NBA game. I still like the Nuggets in 6. Big game tonight. I know we're going to get into 5 big questions, but it's not just NBA over there. You got college baseball. The regionals are set now. We know the matchups. There's some juicy ones. Been a lot of upsets. Got the Stanley Cup Finals, NHL going on as well. Tennis.
French Open.
French Open. College softball. We know the national championship games. Florida State versus Oklahoma now. Shocker. My money's on Oklahoma, considering they lose like one time every, solar eclipse in between them. So DraftKings is the move, guys. Use that promo code BOOSTER and get a great deal over there.
Love it. Do it now.
Do it now.
Take some Nerfies, too.
Yeah, Nerfies, Yerfies, all types of glorious things. So make sure you sign up with that code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because like I said, new customers, you make that $5 bet, score $200 in bonus bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. Let's get to the Booster Club.
Let's get to some donations here. Jake's Extra Strong Cologne.
Smells great.
$20 donation. Appreciate it. It says, question for Jake, a.k.a. the French Hamburglar. Great shirt yesterday, by the way. Should the NBA Finals or Stanley Cup reach a Game 7, would y'all consider hosting it live? Also, did you create me in a lab near the Eiffel Tower?
The answer to number 2 is yes, but not in the lab like that COVID came out of, so don't worry about that. First thing, if it gets to Game 7 when we live stream it, we've been talking about that. Yeah, we got some stuff in the works. All right, a couple surprises up our sleeves. But, Game 7, NBA, very possible. Now, NHL, I don't know. I don't know. Panthers, don't give up on them. Don't give up on them. You just lost 2 on the road. Lost 2 on the road. All right. Now, you got to win 2 at home. That's what it forces you to do. But, yeah, don't count anything out.
Cole Frank, $2 donation. Let's guess what this is. LeBron is mid, MJ's a GOAT, and Florida needs a W. That's true, buddy. We'll get into it later, but that was an absolute beatdown of all proportions. Let's go to USMC Sam. 79 year, $10 donation. Appreciate it, Sam. 79 years ago today, America rolled up on the beaches of Normandy and said, I'll be a Huckleberry. Hashtag one of the best away games ever. Hashtag Jake ain't no spy. He was repping the G code. Those men chose violence.
That's exactly right. I love everything about that statement. And yes, June 6th, Operation Overlord, D-Day. Man, right about now. Right about now, they rolled up there just, again, and I saw it. If you ever have an opportunity to go see it and pay your respects, you need to do it. It's just, it'll blow your mind. And again, when you look at what's happening today in society, you think back to the greatest generation, and we went from storming beaches to men wearing bikinis on them. So it's a sad day.
All right, let's go to Maximum Vol. $5 donation. He said, hashtag ask Blaine with an E. I really appreciate that. How does the Big 12 expanding affect LeBron's legacy? Thank you all for being the GOATs of sports. GBO, WDE, go blue.
Go blue.
I think the Big 12 expansion is going to affect LeBron's legacy a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's really going to change change really everything.
I'm sure he'll read a book about it and just get.
Well, see, LeBron's read every book, just the first page.
Just the first page.
That's how it works. Let's go to Jimbo Eagle, $5 donation. Marvin Harrison's also up for the College Football Hall of Fame. Way past dude. Y'all think he gets in easily? Hashtag Cuse mode.
Yeah, I think he should. I tell you what, his son, Marvin Harrison Jr., is one of the best wide receiver prospects that I've ever seen in my life, and that guy's going to make a lot of money. But yeah, look, Marvin Harrison too. Now, I remember, forget college, just watching what he did with Peyton Manning in the NFL. You talk about chemistry. I mean, this is Bill Nye the Science Guy situation over there, except one of them was a real scientist, and it wasn't Bill.
Great tandem. All-time great tandem.
All time.
Let's go to Nathan Johnson, a true OG, $5 donation. Should the Big 12 try to lure Nebraska back to the promised land of the Midwest?
Well, you know, if Nebraska was in the Pac-12, I think there'd be a shot. But since they're in the Big 10, you just added the markets of USC and UCLA. I don't think Nebraska's going anywhere, and I think they got the right guy in Matt Rule. Now, does that mean that they're going to go win 9 or 10 games every year? No, I think those days are done for Nebraska. But I think Nebraska, before everybody freaks out, I think they can kind of be Ole Miss-ish. What do I mean by that? Solid, can get to 8 wins consistently, gonna fill the place up, gonna recruit well, and every 3 to 4 years be able to make a run at it. That's what I think Nebraska's new role is. This isn't 1977 anymore or the early 90s or whatever. You don't got, you can't just go out there with guys named Funkensteiner and Gubenhauser and a bunch of, walk-ons who are pulling a plow during the summer and just bury everybody. But I think the new Nebraska with Matt Rule, there's very few guys that are better than turning a Pinto into a nice F-250. Could it be eco? Could it be hybrid? Could it be gas-powered? I don't know. Could be a lot of different things, but Matt Rule's one of the best at it.
Well, the money's just too big in the Big Ten
Very
right
true.
now for Nebraska to turn their back. And another reason, Nebraska, one of their greatest rivals was Oklahoma. Well, Oklahoma is now leaving the Big 12. But with both those things being said, I think Nebraska will always have a lookout over their shoulder back to the Big 12, especially if the offer is right and if the money can be brought up in the Big 12 with the TV rights deal, because they could go be a big fish over there again.
Very true. Very true.
Let's go to Kyle Kennedy. What's up? Yeah. So I guess the Pac-12, Big 12, and Big 10 just forgot or don't care anymore about the alliance they formed in 2020.
Oh, yeah, the promise ring? Hey, I'll never I love you. Oh, man, we're in 8th grade. We're going to be together forever.
We call it 52.
Yeah,
we call it 52.
Pay that man his monies. All right, let's get to 5 humongously gigantic questions. But first, hold on, David and Blaine. You guys think you're fresh?
Yeah.
You're not fresh.
Oh.
Figuring out what's for dinner is not at the top of anyone's summer activity wish list. So our friends at HelloFresh, the freshest, deliver mouth-watering, chef-crafted recipes and the freshest ingredients to your door so you can spend your summer doing, whatever you guys want. And if you didn't know, today's Taco Tuesday, and everybody needs to get excited about it. If you're not, give me your passport. And HelloFresh has an amazing recipe for their one-pan. This sounds phenomenal. Listen to this. This, even outside the ad read, they have an amazing recipe for their one-pan Santa Fe pork tacos with Monterey Jack and cilantro lime slaw. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to read this slowly, all right, because it's early, but daddy hungry. One-pan Santa Fe pork tacos with Monterey Jack and cilantro lime slaw. Sounds like a great situation. Now, look, these tacos are just one of 40 recipes to choose from weekly. Can you stop coughing during the ad read? Thanks.
Sorry, bud.
With the options to please even the pickiest eaters. You'll always find meals everyone at the table will enjoy. The HelloFresh Market has new snacks, meals, and more to add to your weekly order. With so much variety, there are options for everyone and every lifestyle. Read, my wife, she's pescatarian. Does that mean she can read minds? Yes, but she also loves HelloFresh. All right, so go to HelloFresh.com. Do this now, unless you're driving, and then pull over. Go to HelloFresh.com/booster16. That's HelloFresh.com/booster16. That's the number 16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Talk about solving world hunger. That's right. 16 free meals at HelloFresh.com/booster16. Make sure to use that promo code at checkout. HelloFresh.com/booster16. And we want a picture of your food when it's done. Make sure you send on that on social media. Use that promo code booster16. I'm going to read this one time slowly in an old Southern voice. One pan Santa Fe pork tacos with Monterey Jack and cilantro lime slaw and just coat yourself in deliciousness. All right, that's HelloFresh. Let's get to five.
I found them.
Right there?
There they go.
See,
we had them last month.
I'm down 30 pounds, David.
Almost didn't find
I've been eating well, and it's places like HelloFresh that can help you stay fit. Booster 16, grow up, eat better.
Ate it last night.
Tacos?
Not tacos, but I ate HelloFresh.
Yeah,
proud of you.
Love it. All right, first question. Michael Vick, Larry Fitzgerald, and Terrell Suggs are among the college football stars who will be considered for induction into the College Football Hall of Fame for the first time this year. I want to talk about Michael Vick, though. Let's just start with the off-the-field issues with the dogfighting. Should Michael Vick be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame?
You know, the numbers argument is one thing. To me, I think it's how you define Hall of Fame. Do you define the Hall of Fame just by the numbers? Character does not matter. See, to me, character matters to make the Hall of Fame. I think that's part of it, right? And it's not just working hard. I'm not saying you got to go out there and do all this charity work. And I'm not saying you have to be the greatest person of all time. But let's not forget what Michael Vick got in trouble for, okay? Number one, fighting dogs is disgusting. It's disgusting in itself. If you have a dog or a pet or anything like that, like I can't fathom, like just knowing that's going on, even if I'm not the one that's literally doing the action, knowing it's going on at my house and being okay with it, and then finding out the way that they would kill the dogs by electrocute them. No. I don't think Michael Vick should be in the Hall of Fame. Was he an electric player? Yes. Does he have the greatest numbers of all time? No. Did he change the game a little bit? Was he the most exciting player to watch at the time? Yes. But I define Hall of Fame as on and off the field. Some people don't, and that's okay. But as somebody who has pets, who loves animals, and I believe in hunting and all that stuff. We did it growing up. But I lost all respect for Michael Vick. And look, you can apologize and all this stuff. It doesn't change it. In my opinion, like you can say, you're a better person now, whatever, but it just takes a certain type of individual. I think it's evil to me. Like it's purely evil. Talk about something that can't defend itself. I mean, no, I don't think Michael Vick should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing that I say about Pete Rose in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame is if you're going to have a Hall of Fame, them taking character into account always makes sense. And if you're going to do that, then I don't think Michael Vick should be in the Hall of Fame. But let's take the dogfighting thing away because this is what was interesting. I was thinking about this yesterday. If you take, his personal life away, then it would be a no-brainer that Michael Vick would be a College Football Hall of Famer. But then I was looking at the numbers, and I don't even know if that's the case. 1999 is the year, his redshirt freshman year, he led Virginia Tech to the national championship, and they lost to Chris Winkie and Florida State. That year, he threw for 2,000 yards. He threw for 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I think he had another 600 yards, something like that on the ground. And then in 2000, that was 57% completion percentage. In 2000, he threw for 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, was still another 600 yards on the ground. I mean, are those stats College Football Hall of Fame worthy, even if you take his personal life out of it?
It's so tough. It's just the one. I believe he finished third in the Heisman.
In 99.
In 99, that first year. I think the numbers, you can have a conversation about it, but I think this the way Michael Vick played, right? Kind of go back to what Jake said. He's just an electrifying player. He was must-see TV. And he didn't really see anything like Michael Vick at that time. The thing with I'm going to get back to the dogfighting thing here. Like, that was an NFL thing, correct? That didn't happen to him while he was in college. Okay, so do we hold that standard? Do we hold him for what happened in the NFL to his college career? So, I mean, that's the question that it comes down to. If a guy made a mistake 6 years into the league, I mean, I get it, but are we going to punish him when he wasn't doing it in college?
Well, I think it depends on the severity of the punishment. Should O.J. Simpson be in the College Football Hall of Fame?
I mean, O.J. Simpson's innocent.
Well, was he inducted before that situation? That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
See, that's
what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's like the offense, right? What is the offense? Okay, you bet on your team to win with Pete Rose. Okay, I can understand the argument of keeping him out of the Hall of Fame, but I do not compare that at all to what Michael Vick did. Not at all. They're two totally different things. So if we were having the argument that Michael Vick was inducted before that, okay, we can have that argument, but he's not. He's on the ballot right now. So that's a mute point to me. Again, it's how egregious it was. Again, you can believe what you want. You can have your own opinion. But knowing what Michael Vick knew was going on and what happened, no, I don't think so. And then you look at the numbers. I don't think it's a slam dunk on the numbers. But I do think, like I said, he did change the game.
Well, just by being fast. I mean,
yeah, but
fast.
I mean,
like, that's not changing the game so much to me.
Well, how many kids grew up the quarterback
being electric?
position?
I will agree.
Well, like the quarterback position. How many guys before Michael Vick do you remember? I mean, you had some, right? You had like Fran Tarkenton, all right, and you had some guys. Well, losing my mind right now. Won the Heisman, quarterback at Florida State. He was running around. Charlie Ward. But, Michael Vick, I think, did usher in a generation of the dual threat quarterback. Now, is that enough to stand alone by itself? No, I don't think. It's like saying the first guy to rugby punch should be in the College Football Hall of Fame. But I put that all to the side, even with great numbers for what happened off the field. But that's just me.
I think we happen to be at the age when we were coming up watching college football, and Michael Vick was doing that. Like Charlie Ward was a little bit before us, or else if we were a little older, we'd be saying, well, Charlie Ward changed the game in that capacity. But Ken Dorsey is a quarterback that gets talked about a lot as being someone who is just, he wasn't a great quarterback. He was just on really good Miami teams. I mean, if you look at his numbers playing at exactly the same time as Michael Vick, he threw for more yards, far more touchdowns, and fewer interceptions, and had higher completion percentages. And that's just the 2 years that he started that were the same as Michael Vick. He was a 4-year starter, ended up throwing for 9,500 yards, 86 touchdowns, and 28 INTs. And people think of Ken Dorsey as just being like some guy. Well, really good Miami team.
I call that and people are going to be like, what, the chicken theory, right? Like, it's just the way it is. So, like, for example, if I had the best piece of grilled chicken, I'm talking about elite, I cooked it perfectly, it's still not going to be as sexy sitting next to an average piece of fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Vick was way more entertaining to watch, right? Because at the end of the day, he was making highlight reel plays that made you say, well, Ken Dorsey was making the right play. But the numbers, look, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie, to quote Lil Wayne. So I can understand that argument. I get that argument. And I don't know, Coach, it's just a fascinating one.
I agree with you on the word exciting. I want someone who's productive, though.
No, me too.
More than exciting. Now, Larry Fitzgerald, on the other hand, Larry Fitzgerald had 22 touchdown receptions in 2003. That's more touchdown receptions than Michael Vick threw in 2 years.
He's good.
Yeah, Larry was good. I'll make sure to get a shout out to Coach Tubbs. He's going to be one of the coaches. First ballot coaches get inducted.
Yeah. Well, I thought Larry Fitzgerald went to University of Phoenix.
I don't think
That's where he graduated from. Man.
Oh, my bad.
Don't be coming on here talking ish about Larry.
I'm not talking ish about Larry.
All right, next one of the 5 big questions here. You were talking a little bit about programs having different sports in different conferences. Yeah. Should that be the case? Now, you were saying that if Gonzaga doesn't have a football team, couldn't they play basketball in the Big 12? Mm-hmm. But we see some other schools conferences having interest in programs where one sport would be in one conference and another sport would be in a different conference. Yeah,
and I'm a little bit particular on this and a little bit specific. If they're not the big 3 sports, baseball, basketball, and football, I don't care, right? I'm not saying they're not important, but if you're in one conference in gymnastics and another one in wrestling, I'm not going to argue with you over that. I leave it to the big 3 sports, baseball, basketball, and football. I think if you're a place, like I said, like Villanova, right, or like Gonzaga, where you have a high-level Division I sport, say basketball, and you're FCS or D2 and another one, I'm fine with that. That just makes sense. That makes more sense to me, right? But where I have a problem with it is sitting here saying, all right, well, we're going to be in one conference in Division I basketball and another one in Power 5 football. I don't like mixing it like that. And you say, why? Well, my reason is because those sports make revenue. You're not having to sit here and rely on some outside circumstance or having to put them in a certain conference to be able to make more revenue. Like, those are revenue-making sports. They need to be in the same conference. So that's where I kind of draw the line. Is it something that I'm just going to die on the hill of, just going to argue with you to death about? No, but it's just that's my preference.
Should Notre Dame join a conference?
Yes, 100%. I'm sick of it. Everybody's sick of it.
I'm not saying Notre Dame shouldn't join a conference, but if they join a conference, they need to be in the same one in basketball, baseball.
It gets to the point where, man, I don't know what team's in what conference anymore. It's like every day I wake up, it's like, we're going to start the new Pac-7. and the new Big 14. Can we just figure it out, guys? Just everything's changing every other day. I don't care. I go back to what Jake says. If it's not the 3 major sports, I really don't care. I don't care. If it's softball, I don't care. If it's volleyball, now I care. All right. Now, don't mess with the volleyball conferences.
Question 3, college baseball regionals all wrapped up.
There we go.
Who are you really liking now to win it all?
You know, LSU was hot about halfway through the year, kind of fell off a little bit, but I like the way they're playing. The question is going to come down to pitching. We know they can hit. All right, there's no question. Dylan Cruz hit one that just disappeared the other day. But, you know, kind of just looking around right now is TCU, man. The way they just dispatched Arkansas, they're as hot as anybody. I mean, Blaine had Trey Richardson as one of his best yesterday coming off the weekend. They're a complete ball club right now. I think TCU's the best team in the country. So I thought they were great regionals. Southern Miss advances too. But you had 6 SEC teams advance. You look at Florida. Does Florida have enough down the stretch? I'm not 100% sure. Will we see another underdog like we saw Coastal win it a couple years ago? I don't think so, man. If I had to put my money on anybody, it would be TCU right now. But I'm just glad we got some games in yesterday without there being a million rain delays. Thought we were going to have to build an arc.
Hard for me not to go with LSU. It's really hard for me. I mean, if it's me, I need to look up the odds. I want to see who the odds-on favorite is. But I put my eggs in the basket of LSU, baby. Go Tigers.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy. Now, look, watch out for Tennessee, too. And how ironic, and remember, I said this during the regular season, how ironic would it be this year? Tennessee should be hosting a super regional like they did last year. But what if this Tennessee team advances further than the greatest team ever of all time last year in Tennessee that had all the hype? Kind of called it midway through the season. It's amazing when you slide under the radar a little bit how much more you can perform in the postseason when you don't think it's just going to be handed to you. And also, Indiana State, okay, wins the regional. Supposed to host a super regional, and they can't because they have the Special Olympics coming into town and they have no room. Remember, Kentucky had to put people in their dorms, right? Just sad that Indiana State could not find a way. I hate it for the players and the coaching staff. That's tough. Like, I get it, right? I know the Special Olympics is really important. I'm not sitting here saying one's more important than the other, but we can't find a way to house people somewhere. I mean, damn. Like, if I'm a recruit at Indiana State, like, this is a bad look. This is a really bad look. Y'all need to figure it out. Build some more stuff. How about that? Get with Elon Musk to build one of those pop-up houses that runs on goat milk in the sun.
Well, talking about Tennessee being the favorite last year and then possibly advancing further this year, that's a similar situation with the Florida Panthers. They've advanced further this year, but yesterday in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals just got obliterated 7-2. The Golden Knights hold home ice advantage in the first 2 games, look unstoppable. Can the Panthers come back and make this a series when they return to Miami?
Got to win 2. You got to win. You got to win both at home. Yes. I mean, again, this wouldn't be the first time we saw some team lose the first 2 on the road, win the next 2, get some momentum, and go steal 1 on the road. I think the Panthers do have the culture and the DNA to be able to do it. Look, they weren't supposed to be here. Panthers are still underdogs, still a chip on their shoulder. But the thing about Las Vegas that we talked about before is that they're one of those teams like we see in basketball that when they get hot, they get really, really hot. They jumped them last night. I mean, they were up 4-0, halfway through the second, and you just feel buried. It's tough to come back from there. So I think what you're going to see is for the Panthers to be able to win this, it's got to become more low scoring. They can't give up 5. They can't give up 7. That's not the way the Panthers play. I think they are physical enough to compete with Las Vegas. Las Vegas, in my opinion, hadn't beat them because they just bullied them. They've just been much more efficient offensively. Their possession's been much better. And I feel like Florida hasn't been on the attack they were early in the playoffs. They're more on their heels, just trying to get through it instead of bringing the fight to the opponent. Now, home ice does an unbelievable job of being able to flip that switch. Can they do it? Yes. Will they do it?
Well, you and I both had the Panthers last night, and after that 4th goal, I just had to stand up and clap.
Oh, man.
I was like,
the thing about it is, I just feel, maybe I'm just one of those guys, you can kind of tell in the first 10 minutes of a hockey game how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of teams come out with different periods. Some teams, especially teams at home, usually come out hot. You can go the NHL and the NBA, in my opinion. But, man, there's no point in that game where I looked at the Panthers and felt comfortable about anything. One, Vegas is huge. They're a bunch of giants running around that ice right there, and they're letting the Panthers know about it pretty early. The offense looked great. Every little thing the Panthers try to do looked hard. It looked hard. Not really a lot of clean shots. I thought the Knights, when it comes to the penalties, are doing phenomenal. I mean, they're absolutely just on point. The chemistry's there. But I'll always say this. I'll never freak out about you losing 2 on the road when it comes to a playoff series. You come back home. I think the Panthers will win both. You know, I was high on the Panthers at the beginning of the season. I'm serious. I want to apologize to all Knights fans out there because y'all came to play. So I think this series is going to go deep. But I do think Florida's going to pull out 2 at home. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the series go 7.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm just rooting for a good series.
And the Panthers beat the Bruins in 7.
Yep.
Too, and they were down in that one.
Well, you run out 7 defensemen yesterday. I mean, what do you expect? You score no goals. So I mean, I'm not surprised.
Okay, so Florida was down 3-1. They were down 3-1 to Boston.
Yep.
That's what it was.
I'm not surprised by it.
All right, last question. Kyrie Irving on the Mavs has called up his boy LeBron James, I guess, and said, hey, you should come on over to Dallas with me and Luka and let's form a super team and maybe win a championship. Is this going to happen?
Yeah, I'd have hung up the phone on him. Like, what?
Why? This is so LeBron James.
No, remember what happened last time? Like, Kyrie, if you're LeBron, here's what LeBron wants, I think, all right? He just wants to play with Bronny, where Bronny can be, a big part of the team, not just a guy, not just a role player, not just LeBron's son. Now, is Bronny going to be good enough to do that? I don't know. He's going to play a year in college. We'll see. He's going to be in the NBA regardless because he's LeBron James' kid. And there's nothing he can do about that. I'm not holding that against him. But I think LeBron doesn't want to go out like this on the Lakers, right? Like you are on the biggest brand in the NBA, okay? And what would the Mavs have to? You'd have to give up
Luka.
Everything. There's no way. I don't think you can make it work with Kyrie, LeBron, and Luka.
The Lakers aren't going to do this unless Luka's coming over.
Yeah.
Like I'd hang up the phone. Sounds great. One, I mean, you bring LeBron over, it's not going to fix your defense. Promise you that. Your defense is still going to be trash. You're going to be like the Suns, in my opinion, but maybe a little bit better. This would be phenomenal to see, and it's a good thing, in my opinion, to see Kyrie kind of come full circle and back to have a good relationship with Bron. I mean, after these guys,
I tell you who the Mavs need to go get
after these guys won a championship together. But I don't see this happening. If you're the Mavericks, you'd have to give up too much to get LeBron James, and who knows how much time LeBron has left.
I'm going to get Jaylen Brown. That's who I'm going to get if I'm the Mavs. Guy that can play defense. It's a great driving. I think he would play. I think his game, we've seen him be able to play with Tatum. Now, we've seen him have to take over sometimes in the fourth quarters, and he didn't play great at the end of the series, this past series against the Heat. But I think he fits what Kyrie and Luka do pretty well. If I'm the Mavs, that's one spot I'm looking at that are going to get you a big-time defender down.
I mean, if in a perfect world, I'd love to get Mikal Bridges from the Nets.
Are the Nets getting? I don't think the Nets are getting rid of Mikal.
No, I don't. I said in a perfect world.
Yeah.
I don't think the Celtics are getting rid of Jaylen Brown either.
Yeah, they said they
dribble better with his left.
Yeah, he does. But I do think there's a better chance of Jaylen Brown leaving Boston than a lot of other, I guess you could say, stars, because I consider Jaylen Brown a star.
Yeah, LeBron is on contract for the next 2 seasons.
Yeah,
So,
it's not going to happen.
You'd have to give away like Bertans and Hardaway, and I mean,
you'd have to give away Luka.
Was it $40 million?
You have to give away Luka. You would. I mean, I think the Lakers already came out and said that.
That's a lot. All right, let's get to the Booster Club.
All right, let's go to Tyler Jarvis, $5 donation. Cranico plus Black Rifle Coffee equals a great morning. God,
that's exactly what I love when you whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
Bry Ganter, $10 donation.
Shirt's on the way, dog.
Kellen Moore is up for the Hall of Fame as well.
Shovelface?
Shovelface. He's the guy from True Detective. Let's go. I think 15-3 should get him there. Hashtag Boise State. Hashtag bleed blue.
I think sometimes people forget how good Kellen Moore was.
He was really good.
In college. I mean, when you talk about guys that put Boise State on the map, the way we look at him now, Kellen Moore was a humongous part of that. But it was the way that Kellen did it, right? He didn't have a howitzer attached to his arm. He didn't have a cannon. He's just a savant. And his timing. You know who he reminded me of? And old school SEC fans will know this. Him and Brandon Cox were very similar to me in the way they played. Very cerebral, both left-handed. Didn't have great arms, but their timing was great. Their decision-making was great. And I think Kellen Moore is a great play caller as well.
Oh, yeah,
I really like
100%.
his mind offensively. I'm kind of glad he's out of Dallas now a little bit. He can be like a peacock, spread his wing and fly. But no, I think Kellen Moore's a Hall of Famer for sure. How funny is this? Kellen Moore is a more surefire Hall of Famer than Michael Vick is. Just think about those two traits.
It's polar opposite the way they play.
Polar opposite the way they play, but it's just funny.
Give me Brandon Cox 10 out of 10 times when it comes to that one.
Brandon Cox, wit.
That's the homer in me, I'm going to be honest. Let's go to Jim O. Eagle, $2 donation. Buffalo Bills new stadium renovations. Thoughts?
$1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Man, what a great time for it, too. You got your franchise quarterback.
That's exactly
you're
right.
relevant. You're making moves in the AFC. It's going to be sexy. When's it supposed to be done?
I didn't see an end date on it, but yeah, again, you strike while the iron's hot. The iron is hot in Buffalo. Stop somebody!
Oh, beginning
Just stop
construction
somebody.
on the new stadium to be in time for the 2026 season. Okay.
It's gonna be like you're gonna be able to teleport there and stuff by that time.
Texas says, can we have a segment where Blaine just reads hockey rosters?
I already
That would
found
be
some
good.
we can do.
No.
That would be good.
I'm
I
not
think we're
doing
going to
them.
do
No,
it later
that'd be
today.
I'm not doing them.
Buckle up, Blaine.
We could do it like the spelling
not
bee. You could
doing
ask
it.
for like the
I'm not
origin of the
doing it.
name.
John
Like, where's-
Sonics.
I'm just not going to do it. I'm
like
just not. That's
you
too
can just ask all
embarrassing. I
those
can't.
questions.
Like someone put something on Twitter. That was hilarious. Let's go to Playboy Sparty. The Panthers' game plan was to get chippy with Vegas to rattle them, and it's biting them in the butt. Yeah, you got chippy, and then you started getting knocked on your ass.
Yeah, well,
throughout the game.
again, look, it's one thing to be big, right, and just be bruisers and play bully ball. That's not what the Knights are doing. Like, these guys are very skilled offensively. I mean, they've got good chemistry, but they're very efficient when they shoot. They make good decisions with the puck, especially on the other end. This is kind of the rare, we're huge and cerebral offensively. That is a deadly combination, and not soft. I'm not saying soft. They can be physical, but the Panthers are kind of like, the little guy, the Joe Pesci's, right? They're in there. They're funny how. I'm funny how. Like the Las Vegas Golden Knights, they're like Globo Gym going in there. Like, so it's just a little bit of different worlds.
The hit that Kachuk had on Eichel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, they were blasting them, bro. Blasting.
We got all the momentum.
Look, Panthers, y'all started it. Y'all started with that first hit into the wall.
Well, that's how the
I like it. No, I like
on
it.
The Panthers, though?
Huh?
That was
That was the Panthers, but I'm saying throughout the game, like, the Knights were, the Panthers had a couple good hits for sure, but the Knights were laying into these kids. Laying into them. I mean, at least 3 or 4 times. Like, the thing about it is, like, you try to bully somebody, then you realize, oh, man, this dude can fight. It's like right before you get in a fight, and the dude starts doing this. It's like, oh, God, he knows jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm going to walk away.
He lived in Tibet under a ninja monk for 6 years.
Let's go to Carolina Cyclone. With the new teams incoming, how are my Iowa State Cyclones going to look on the field this year?
Okay, here's what I want to say. I've coached in Iowa, clinicked up there. Matt Campbell's a great guy, runs a very tight ship. I do think he is somewhat overrated, though, as a head coach. Now, Iowa State this year, when you look from a roster standpoint, I think they're going to be very similar to the Iowa State we see every year. You have games where they're very buttoned up. They're very efficient in what they do. They don't turn the ball over. And then sometimes you have games where you look out there and you're like, Iowa State looks inept on offense. Not levels of Iowa, okay? I'm not accusing them of that. I mean, if I was an Iowa fan like this, I can understand how people turn into the Joker. Like, if you're an Iowa fan, just go absolutely insane. But Iowa State, to me, has got to become more consistent. And I know that's what Matt preaches. You're never going to have the best players, right? You're never going to have the best roster. You look at the money spent in recruiting, but that's not Iowa State's game. Iowa State's game is having a couple guys that are NFL worthy, being tough as hell up front, being able to run it on 3rd and 1 when they have to, and making smart decisions on 3rd down and medium, 3rd down and short, and getting stops in the red zone, holding guys to field goals. It'll never be the sexiest thing. That's why I think Iowa State, I mentioned this earlier with Nebraska, I think it's a once every 3 to 4 years making a run at it, but eventually Matt's got to get over this hump a little bit. You've got to have that big year. Everybody was talking about, oh, Notre Dame, Matt Campbell's going to go to Notre Dame. Look, you can win at Iowa State. It's not a dominant place, but they have great football tradition. Their fan base is ultra loyal. There's not a ton to do outside of football out there. Believe me, I've been there, and that's not a knock. It's beautiful country, beautiful farm country, some of the best silos you've ever seen in your life. But Iowa State has got to have that big year. Are they good enough to finally have that big year? I don't think so.
I keep rooting for Iowa State to get over that hump, but they don't seem to do it. I mean, 4-8 a season ago.
Yeah.
That's just not good enough. And that includes a win over Iowa. You were 4-8 with a win over Iowa, a 10-7 win. Lost every Big 12 game except West Virginia at home.
That Iowa State game, on the edge of my seat.
I think I had the under.
The whole game, I think it hit.
I think the under was like 17 and a half.
Oh, man.
8 Big 12 losses. Like
It's
not like Iowa State doesn't have good players either. They got some talent.
They have talent. They're not the most talented, but they have talent enough to be better than 4-8. But look, all it takes sometimes is that one big year, right? That one big year that gets you over the hump. And I know Matt had shown progress, and then it kind of fell off the cliff last year, but he better turn it around. He really needs.
A lot of that speaks to the rest of the Big 12 too.
Yeah, it does.
They're playing good football.
But like
it's hard to go beat Baylor.
But the transition in the Big 12 should have favored Iowa State. Mm-hmm. If you look at the teams that have come up, right? Baylor and Oklahoma State. Why? Why is that? Physicality, right? Running the ball in defense. Oklahoma State is like the guy from Split compared to what they used to be. I mean, they went from the 60-year-old British woman to the 9-year-old boy that rides a tricycle around.
Let me just pull up, just real quick while we're on, I'm going to pull up their schedule because I want to see how many of the new teams.
I want to see their non-conference too.
Okay.
Scanning.
Go ahead, Blaine.
Someone in the Booster Club made a handle that says Blaine's Bucket Step. I love that.
It's called what? Bucket
Blaine's
Step?
Bucket Step. I got a phenomenal bucket step. I feel like in another life I played tackle.
Okay, here we go. Northern Iowa home. Iowa home. They go to...
Well, they play Iowa week 2?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they played them week 3 last year. Let me make sure I'm on 2023. Iowa State Cyclone schedule 2023.
Okay.
I mean, Northern Iowa home, Iowa home, week 2. At Ohio, that's the Bobcats, not the Buckeyes, just for clarification. Oklahoma State at home. They go to Oklahoma, TCU home. So now they go to Cincinnati. They go to Baylor. They get Kansas at home. They go to BYU, Texas at home, and on the road to Kansas State. So Cincinnati.
We'll see.
God, that smells like 6-6. It smells like 6. I'm telling you, Northern Iowa is not a walk in the park. It is not a walk in the park.
Over-under for them this season was.
I bet. How much you want to bet it was 5.5?
You think it's 5.5?
I would be willing to bet it's 5.5. All right, what else?
Let's go to Dakota Faulkner. Blaine, do you know anybody in the chat with an updated NCAA 14 on Xbox 360? The portal's insane right now.
The roster?
Yeah.
Updated roster?
I do not, but I'm
so ready for that game to come out next year.
Yeah, they'll find a way to ruin it. That's for sure.
Don't say that.
Let's go to
hold on. Don't say that.
Okay.
Please don't say that.
Don't
ruin Christmas for everybody.
Look, I'm just telling you.
All right, don't ruin Christmas.
I'm just telling you what's going to happen, okay?
Yes, 5.5 on Iowa State, by the way.
5.5.
What were you saying over there?
Dakota was looking for an updated NCAA 14 roster. If I knew anybody on the 360, I was like, I don't. He says the transfer portal, I guess they put it on the old game with updated rosters and stuff like that. Let's go to Jamie's mom. $2 donation. You guys are sleeping on Rake Forest.
I don't think so after Sam Hartman left.
Now that talking about baseball.
Oh,
baseball.
Look, they're really good.
No, hold on. Now, before during the regionals, and I know they were number 1 in the country going in there. I was shocked Clemson got beat out too. By the way, I don't mean to digress. I wouldn't be shocked if Wake Forest won it, but I don't want to sit here and give you just absolute peanut butter and jelly. Number 1 team's going to win. I want to give you some other options. I'm telling you, LSU's good enough to do it. Like LSU's good. It's just the pitching. We know Paul Skeens just going to go out there and just light it up, all right? I threw, like 124 pitches last time? Something like that. But speaking about pitching, Blaine, you have a segment that you
we're back at it, huh?
Blaine, a.k.a. the chair
We're back at it. We're back at it.
We all know.
Someone didn't bring the thing in today. Someone's getting fired.
I'm ready to learn what it's mid.
All right, it's mid. It's Tuesday. All right, we got Tuesday top 5, and it's mid. Blaine, what is keeping it steady?
It's mid. French edition. Coming after you, bud. Coming after you. The Eiffel Tower. Who cares? All right? You can't live in it, and 2, it looks stupid and it's not impressive. The only cool thing they ever made was a Statue of Liberty, and they gave it to us because they didn't want their people to see how poorly everything else was built in their country. All right? Number 2, their language. All right? They can barely pronounce their own words. Every word has at least 4 letters you're not supposed to pronounce. Grow up, losers. Have things to do today. I'm an American. I've worked hard for everything I have. And I'm pronouncing all those damn letters. I'll be grateful for each one of them. Last one, they're baked ribs. There are many things I don't know in this world. But damn it, there's one thing I do know. No Frenchman can bake better ribs than those boys in the red, white, and blue.
No.
All right? Not better than Oklahoma Joe's in Kansas City, Jake. Not better than the Salt Lick in Driftwood, Texas. And definitely not better than Archibald's in Northport, Alabama. So rise up, America, because our grills and our ovens are under attack. But we won't hesitate in the face of danger. We're American, baby. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. USA.
USA. USA. USA.
I tell you what.
In your face.
In your French
face.
I just don't understand
USA.
why you guys can't understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
I just said the baked ribs. That's it. The baked ribs. Not barbecue. Okay? And I'm not saying Archibald's and Northport's bad. I'm not saying Driftwood and, I don't know, Texas.
Salt Lick and Driftwood, Texas.
Salt Lick and
The
Driftwood,
disrespect.
Texas is bad. It's not disrespect.
It's disrespectful.
I thought the baked ribs over there were better. All right? And I'm as American as it gets. I know only one of us has sand from Normandy Beach over at their crib right now.
Exactly what a
And
French
it's
spy
me.
would say.
And it's me, okay? Nobody's more American than me. I ate a Slim Jim on the way over here,
you see that
all right?
going through
So
the
I don't want to hear it
undocumented
from
files of
you.
the FBI.
Okay, but if you've ever been to France and you've eaten the food, I'm not saying every food, but some food is better over there. They've been a country for what, 8,000 years? I mean, there's just history stacked on history. Of course there's going to be some things that are better over there. Now, when it comes to the language, their language is better than ours, dog.
See, here he goes.
No, their language is
Here
better
he
than ours.
goes. I'm telling you.
Their
I'm
language
telling
is better.
You. I'm
It's
telling
more-
you. He's a spy.
How do you know you don't speak French?
He can't even speak it.
Yes, I do.
Then you are a spy.
Yeah.
Then. That proves
Look,
it.
he's
then.
a spy,
Just
guys.
because I'm bilingual doesn't make me a
He's a
spy,
spy,
man.
dude.
I feel like, oh boy, in that one movie where they threw his wife out of the plane because he told her about the Bay of Pigs or whatever.
God.
I'm just saying, the French is romantic. It's a romantic language.
Italian's
Our
better.
language is a lot harder to learn and do because a lot of it doesn't make sense. In French, you know, say, go to a girl, go to an American girl, speak to her in English, and then speak to her in French. I'll tell you what, you got a better chance.
No.
We're gonna be honest.
I'm
We're
speaking
gonna play a game of Let's Be
to her in
Honest.
English.
Well, if she doesn't speak English, I'll tell you what you got a better chance at.
Jake, I can tell you that is incorrect. The French language to me is disgusting and repulsive.
Well, where are you from?
My
You're
name is French, by the way.
Yeah, you just went to Ireland, to the homeland, right?
I'm also
Yeah.
Italian.
Google some history.
That's a better
No wonder you don't
romantic
like the
language.
French.
Also, you said barbecue. Who pronounces it like that?
Barbecue?
You said barbecue.
Barbie.
You did. I'll
First
play
off,
that.
for Justine, you're from New Jersey. I don't want to hear a word from you about barbecue. All y'all know is that the only thing y'all can do is go to the beach and take shots. That's
You had
it.
us at the food is fresher, right? Because America's
The food
we're just
is
messed up.
so much
we're all
fresher.
messed up. We're all messed
The
up.
language
But
is
then you
better,
went to the ribs. You
Yeah.
went straight.
He went
ribs,
straight. No.
man.
Then he
And
said,
you're like,
then he
well,
brought up
no, but they
glizzies.
bake 'em.
Then he brought up glizzies.
He did bring up the hot
And
dogs.
then
They're
he says their
bigger.
language is better.
Y'all just
Oh.
lucky that that grill gun doesn't work.
Oh, don't get me
It
started on
works.
grill guns. It works, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to work it.
You know what?
in America.
USA. USA.
Speaking about the French, it's time to take your style to the next level. Dressing for success can help you look better and be more confident. So whether you're attending an important meeting or a networking event, or simply want to impress your colleagues, our friends at Indochino have everything that you need. All right, from business casual, dress shirts, camp shirts, and even blazers. Look at this picture right there. You want to look fly? All right, Indochino offers a wide variety of options for every occasion. And it's not just shirts. Blaine. Indochino has high-end suits at very affordable prices. Now you can look great at every event. David, you ordered a suit. Tell the people about it.
I did order a suit. I got the gray one, kind of silverish, even though I guess that would beg the question, what's the difference between gray and silver? But has a nice little sheen to it. It got here last week, and it comes in a nice box. Opened it up, perfect fit.
love
It's
to
made
see
to
it.
measure.
And it's the same color as your spaceship that the whistleblower just went out and talked about. How was the ordering process for you?
So I got online, put in all my measurements, I already had my measurement, so I didn't need them to measure me.
That's how you got for my wedding.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly, because I already needed to get my tux for your wedding. So I already had that. But they did offer to do an in-point measurement. And then it took 2 weeks to get here?
Yeah, really?
Got here last
You
week?
can't get anything in 2 weeks nowadays. Look, Indochino's the move. So they just launched their new spring collection of suits. They have a ton of new styles, colors, and patterns. Ladies, you want to get something for your husband? You know his measurements. We know you order everything for him anyway. I know mine does. Indochino, while you're browsing their site, let us know what spring collection suit you would wear for your game day photo. Got to look good for the game, too. I know I prefer window pane yellow. Deep down. No, it sounds crazy, but guess what? Grow up. You can see the yellow suit right there. Take your style to the next level with Indochino. So I need you to listen to this deal, all right? Go to Indochino, that's INDOCHINO.com, and use our code BOOSTER to get 10% off any purchase $399 or more. You say, Jake, $399 or more. That's cheap for this, for a suit, something you can wear your whole life. All right, so go to Indochino.com, INDOCHINO.com. Use that promo code BOOSTER and get 10% off and send us a picture, you know?
Get you a suit. Start looking fresh.
Good you look. Start looking
Send it
fresh.
in.
You'll make better decisions in life in general. So we got better
fashion
decisions.
board. You make the French fashionista board back here.
That's exactly right.
Jake
Booster
Sharp.
Club really quickly, then I want to get to reactions.
All right, Tyler Jarvis, $2 donation. Does Cone take Tennessee? You taking Tennessee in the CWS?
It's not looking good.
No?
It's not looking good.
All right, let's go to Byron Davis, $2 donation. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
You, Byron. Is there a Discord? I don't know. I don't think so, but I can make
start
one.
There's a Daily Wire one.
There's a Daily Wire one. I know
there's a
that.
Daily Wire one. We need to
I
get
know
a
that.
company one going.
We'll figure it out.
Jimbo Eagle, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Jimbo. 2 big college football surprises. 1, Syracuse goes 9-3, beats
Shocker.
Clemson at the
Shocker.
Dome this year. 2, Vandy beats Florida for the second straight year, and they're bowl eligible at 6-6.
Man, if that happens, Billy's in trouble. Jimbo, look, I understand the Syracuse love. All right. How good is Garrett Shredder going to play? I know you got another transfer quarterback in there. I don't hate Syracuse. I got no problem with Syracuse. 9-3. We'll see. We need to get Dino Babers on. Need to get him on. Coached against him in the Camellia Bowl, and he's a Bowling Green.
Cole Frink, $2 donation. Hashtag Trader Jake is mid. French people are mid.
Cole, I thought we got past this. I thought we looked each other in the eyes during All Access the other day and shook hands, Yakta.
I love all the Trader Jakes in the chat right now. Keep them going. Steve Action Figure Frenzy, $5 donation. Thank you, Steve. If, and this is a big if, the baked ribs were as
Stop
good as
shaking
Jake
that
says,
pen at me.
then he would have brought some home with him to prove his
They don't let you do
point.
that. That's not how it works. What am I going to do? Put them on a plane and bring them back?
You got it like that.
What am I going to do? Make a raft out of Pepsi cans and just float them here? I tell you what we are doing, and I told you guys this, all right? And you better get excited about this or I'm going to get upset. Reed wants to have a French dinner and have everybody over, okay? And we're going to make baked ribs the way they make them, okay? Now, no guarantees, all right? We're not sitting at AU 35, you know, in the Saint Germain district, all right, eating them, delicious. But we're going to we ordered the special soy sauce, all right, that they make them.
Sauce?
It's a sweet soy sauce, yeah. I'm just telling you.
Y'all go to Bangkok or
Just-
Paris? Which one was it?
Went to Paris, David. I've never been to Germany. But I'm just telling you guys, we're going to have great bread, all right? We brought some stuff over.
How did you bring it? You just
It was
said
rice
that's not how it works.
pasta that's in a bag.
That's not how it works, but I brought all this other food over.
You can bring that, but I brought all this other stuff, so
No.
don't worry about it.
I can't bring meats over. You ever heard of Mad Cow? Or I don't know, Lizzo?
Let's go to Cole Frank, $2 donation. Said, Jake, we did get over this, but then you said the language is better.
It is better. It's more romantic. It is.
You ever see that movie Vicky Cristina Barcelona? And she starts speaking.
Where are you? You are from an alien.
What do you want?
What is
the Woody Allen
what
movie.
channel is that
Vicky
on?
Cristina Barcelona. It has Scarlett Johansson and Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz in it. Like three of the biggest movie stars ever.
I didn't even know that existed.
Now I'm not even going to tell my story.
No, tell it.
But it was
Tell it.
about
Go ahead.
her talking about romantic languages
Okay.
and how they're better. And the girl starts speaking Chinese and she makes fun of her. And it was going to be a point about
Chinese not a romantic language.
Exactly. And so, but now I'm not even going to finish my point.
I thought it wasn't a bad point. Let's get to reactions.
Reactions. Texas Longhorns spent $7 million on their new locker room facility. I want to bring up some pictures here. Do we have the pictures of the Texas
yeah, I wanna
Longhorns
see
new
this.
locker room? $7 million.
Not
How do you think-
enough.
Not enough?
Not enough.
To move to the SEC?
Not enough. You need to be at least
Huh?
10 million.
Look at
All right,
that.
Look, it looks cool. Right? It looks cool. Not enough. It needs to be at least 10 million. All right, you seen Georgia's locker?
Is that just an arbitrary number you're pulling? Georgia has the Lamborghini leather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because they spent more than $7 million. Okay. Now I don't know if that's a fact, but it looks like it's worth more than $7 million to me. Texas got a ton of money. Look, all joking aside, facilities is not Texas's problem. Defense is Texas's problem. If those lockers are going to make you play better defense, totally worth the money. Okay? But I think for $7 million, I could have 3D printed a defensive end that can be more effective than what Texas has had lately. So that's just me. Maybe I'm more efficient money guy. All right? But look, it's beautiful. The facilities in Texas, surprised they got a lot of money. Go stop somebody. We know Sark's going to be good on offense. I think Quinn's going to have a huge year. Not going to make a lot of freshman mistakes. Bijan Robinson's not their security blanket, but they got talent around him enough to be effective. But defense, the offensive line's going to be nice. Return a lot of talented players. But that defense, can you stop anybody? That's what it's going to come down to.
It's a nice new locker room, but we were told at Michigan, hey, the new lockers are for the recruits to see, not for you to like.
No, don't put your stuff.
Spend as little time there as possible.
Yeah,
that's for
don't
the
put your
recruits
stuff.
to see. But, so yeah, you're going to sign better recruits, all that. But at what point are you building more character, fighting through adversity with a crappy locker room? You know, like maybe you're sitting on the soft leather and the soft seats too much. Maybe you're playing soft. Like, is there something to that?
I don't know. Georgia has Lamborghini leather and they're killing
and that's what I'm saying. They just had those. Let's see what happens this year.
David, I know you're an old soul.
I think it'll be pretty good.
All right, I know you're an old soul.
Maybe we get back to the rusty bench press a little bit. Maybe we really find out. Build some character.
RVP?
You're getting nobody. That's called junior college now.
Yeah.
Like that's the only place that happens.
Well,
welcome to Kansas.
maybe you play better.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I love it.
All right, next one. The Broncos, the Denver Broncos have a new motto now. Last year, let's ride. Let's ride. That went well for them. Not really. Can you guess the Denver Broncos' new motto?
What?
Uncommon.
There it is. So
it's a motto and it's one word.
Yeah.
Uncommon.
That's it. Uncommon.
Y'all couldn't think of anything better. Here, I got one for you. Play better, Russell. How about that one? Or how about this? Fix the homeless problem. Tell them your homeless story in Denver.
Don't get me started.
Tell them the homeless story in Denver.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Blaine, tell them the homeless story.
Don't get me started.
Do it. Oh, yes.
Okay, I went to school Western Colorado.
This would be a great TikTok.
So for Thanksgiving, you wouldn't fly home. Just too much, too far. So I went with my buddy Mark Heath, who was also a receiver at the time, to Denver. We went out to a pizza place. Had a few cold beverages. Had some phenomenal pizza. I can't remember what it was called. But we were walking back to his house, and this girl, this homeless girl was sitting on the stairs, and she was like, please, sir, I'm so hungry. So I was I was feeling good. So I had a to-go box full of about 2 slices of pizza. I was like, you know what, fine. So I gave it to her. I was like, here you go, here's some pizza.
There you go.
Feeling great about myself.
Big heart, man.
Walking away, and I just hear a voice come from the background, and it's, where's the ranch?
She said, where's the ranch?
The girl said, where's the ranch? Completely just froze.
Is that how she said
Turn around. Yeah. Turn around. Look her dead in her eyes. Walk right up to her and smash the to-go box out of her hands. And I said, there's your ranch. And walked off. Deserved. The audacity. Are you kidding me? You must not be that hungry. Liar.
Where's the ranch? She doesn't even put honey mustard on her pizza.
No one does.
Look, those nobody's got more highly faluted homeless people than we do in America. Where's the ranch? You get pizza, where's the ranch?
Oh,
ridiculous.
Man.
Yeah.
That's
I remember you calling me and telling me that.
It was
like,
you weren't there?
No.
I was so mad.
No.
All right, next one. Did you find out who the Colts player was?
I looked.
Betting on his own team?
See, there's multiple people they're bringing up, so I don't want to sit here and say exactly this guy.
Legend.
But apparently, like, over 100K.
So a Colts player bet over $100,000 on games the Colts played into, right?
I don't know exactly if the Colts played into it. Chad, if y'all know who it is, put the name in here. But I know it's over 100K. So you're gone for life, buddy.
No, yeah, you're
never
Gonzo the Clown.
Yeah, they banned Calvin Ridley for just pulling up that.
Yeah, they banned Jameson Williams 6 games for thinking about pulling up that.
Yeah, so you're done forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
All right, next one here. Do we have the Mike Tyson video pulled? Can y'all bring that up, please? Do you guys think that Mike Tyson should be allowed to fight against females if he just identifies as a woman?
No.
No.
They could kill him.
No. It's like, do I want somebody to get run over by a car? Either? No.
Play this video from the congressional hearing here. This was our boy in What is a Woman, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Play this.
It.
Should Mike Tyson, have you heard of him?
Yes, I have.
If he identifies as a female, should he be allowed to enter a boxing match with a biological female?
Well, the short answer is yes, somebody who is trans.
After 20 fights, I was undefeated. Only one fighter stood between me and the belt.
This chick, she's nothing.
Tiffany Stone!
Oh, God. Oh, no. You're done. Exactly what would happen.
Here's what I should say. That dude should get punched in the face by Mike Tyson. Like, that's what I think. The person who said yes.
How much would you pay for that?
To get punched
To
in the face?
watch?
Wait, how much would I pay somebody to
For him.
pay? Wait,
Mark
I'm confused with the
Takano.
question.
Yeah. How much you pay to watch Mark Catano get punched?
Didn't you
in the
just
face
say you
by
want him to
Tyson?
get punched in the
Yes.
face by Mike
Yeah,
Tyson?
yeah,
How
I
much
thought
would
you
you
were
pay for that? That's
Oh,
got to be
man.
premium content.
I'd probably at least $5,000.
I just think he should resign and should never be in a power of authority ever again.
that'd be good.
Yeah, I need your driver's license. I need,
Like,
we need
what
to put you in a home.
magical fairyland these people live in?
No, like, here's the only way. You just got to just start making fun of them. Like, it's just the only way.
He said yes. He really said yes.
You just got to
to
start making fun
No,
of them.
they
just
want you to
pointing
make
at
fun of
laugh.
them. It's not anything done.
Positive. Look. Bullying for positive outcomes. All right. This isn't bullying to just make somebody feel bad, but it kind of is because you're saying really stupid things. But yeah, I feel like Mike Tyson should punch that guy in the face. Maybe it'll make him smarter.
Wow. All right, last one here. Talking about positive outcomes. Alabama player Tony Mitchell.
Yeah.
You see this yesterday?
Yeah.
So Tony Mitchell was arrested. Can you break it down for us? What happened?
Yeah.
to
So
him?
Tony Mitchell was arrested. Basically, and again, look, allegedly, I'm not going to dive into the waters too far here. Going like 140. They said he was trying to, outrun the cops. Somebody else was in the car, and there was marijuana, and I believe there was a gun or something in the car. Now, I don't know what was his and what wasn't. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, I'm was the lawyer that tried the case on the prosecution or defense. But I will say this: do I think Tony Mitchell, who was reinstated to Alabama football, would have another chance if he didn't play football? No. I think that has sent him straight to jail. You can talk about youthful offender status and things like that because I don't think he had any priors. But he went and talked to some younger players, some high school guys. And I will always root, in most circumstances, I will always root for somebody to have a second chance. Okay? And maybe by this happening to Tony Mitchell and him speaking and doing this community service, he'll stop somebody else from doing it. Or he may stop two guys from doing it. And if that's the case, then it's a win. Not only for Tony Mitchell having a chance to play football at Alabama, be on scholarship, get an education, kind of change, the socioeconomic path of his family or his background. I'm not 100% sure what it is exactly. But I'll pretty much always root for a guy to have a second chance. And if this prevents 2 or 3 or 4 other guys from making the same mistake, then it was 100% worth it. I'm not naive enough, and I know how it works, right? Especially in a state like Alabama. At a place like Alabama, typically guys get second chances. I hope, again, he truly has made a change. I hope he understands the importance of it, and I hope he understands how much risk he not only put himself in, but other people in by making these stupid decisions. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he figures it out and turns it around. It looks like he's on a good start to do that.
See, I just want to start off by thanking God for not just being there for me, but for also slowing me down. To all the athletes here tonight, just keep pursuing your dreams. God's got a designated path for you.
Yep, and look, I just hope those aren't words.
Well,
I just hope those aren't words.
I'm sure, like, if you played basketball, they probably would have reinstated him too. At Bama.
Well, yeah.
I've seen what I see. But I know one thing for sure. Coming from Thompson High School, I played for that head coach. I played for that defensive coordinator. They showed Tony the right way to get things done, the right way to act. So this was Tony being Tony. There's plenty of people in his ear telling him the right things to do, what's wrong and what's right. So I hope he comes back from this. Hell of a football player, obviously. I hope he comes back from this. But man, these kids, like a lot of these kids, just think they're invincible, man. Just because you make tackles on the football field doesn't mean you can just go do wild stuff and your life is just going to be perfect. Like the making the NFL is tough, buddy. It's tough, and I promise you doing stuff like this, it ain't going to last long.
Yeah,
it ain't going to last long. So,
all right, let's get to the Booster Club, and then we got Top 5 Tuesday, boys.
All right, let's go to L4E, $2 donation, top 5 college football coaches right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Give me Nick Saban. Give me Kirby Smart. Give me
Dabo.
Give me Urban Meyer.
Oh, top 5 right now?
No, right now. Right
He's
now.
not
Yeah.
coaching right now.
I think if he did coach right now, I'm talking about guys that would,
I'm talking about guys who are coaching right now.
Okay, all right. God, Dabo. Do you put Dabo at 3?
Top 5.
Top 5 for sure. I think it's on Lincoln.
Lincoln, I'm thinking Luke Fickell. I mean, Luke's top 5 for me.
So
Who's
I
won
got
championships? There's a good place to start.
Nick Saban, Kirby Smart.
Saban, Curry, Smart.
I mean, that's where it gets interesting with like Jimbo Fisher's won a championship, but is he doing better
Nah,
than Lincoln
putting it-
Riley?
I would put-
Mac Brown's won a championship.
I would put Dabo at 3. I'd put Luke Fickell at 4. I'd put Brian Kelly at 5.
I think Jim Harbaugh should be in that top 5. I'd go Nick, Kirby, Dabo, Jim, Harbaugh, and probably Brian Kelly.
Like Brian Kelly up there.
Yeah, I do.
Jim Harbaugh's got to win at the end of the season, man. And it's not just a college football playoff thing the last couple of years. I mean, he's like 1-6 in bowl games.
So does Lincoln.
December and January, yeah. Same there.
Go to Bry Ganter, $2 donation. He wants you to know you're a Patriot, Jake.
Thank you, Bri. Thank you.
Don't lie to him.
Thank you.
Feel better.
No. Hey, what's up?
All right, you want to get to this list?
Sure.
Let's go. Top
5 Tuesday.
best sequels, y'all.
All right, now look, we all know most sequels suck. Okay,
That's true, that's facts.
There's some sequels that should never be made, but there's some that are fantastic, and I've got one here that's gonna blow your minds. All right, I'm gonna go from 1 to 5. Okay, y'all good with that?
Yeah.
So 1 being the best, 5 being the 5th best. 1, The Dark Knight, greatest sequel ever. My favorite movie. Okay, not that I don't like the other Batmans. Heath Ledger, greatest performance of all time by an actor I've ever seen. Christopher Nolan, I'm so ready to see Oppenheimer 2, brother. So ready to see it. Love your work. Love where your head's at. 2, The Godfather Part 2. The Godfather, the first one, was incredible. How could they make it even better? Well, I would say it's even, but that's saying a lot considering The Godfather, the first one, is one of the greatest cinematic cinematic events of our time. The Godfather Part 2. 3, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Guess what, boys? We did it again. All right? We did it again. Shout out Gandalf. 4, The Bourne Ultimatum. I could have picked multiple ones from the Jason Bourne legacy, but I just like The Bourne Ultimatum. Matt Damon's out there kicking ass and taking names. And then 5th, the sequel you didn't even know was a sequel. Dodgeball. You say, Jake, what is that a sequel to? Heavyweights. Go watch. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Then you come back and you tell me that isn't a sequel to Dodgeball, because we all know it is.
A sequel in spirit.
Yeah.
In heart.
Sure.
Yeah, in practice too.
I like that. That's a good list.
I think
That's a good
I think
list.
it's the best list.
Huh?
You want it?
You
want me
me,
to get it?
me, you?
Pull mine
me?
up.
Oh, okay. Go
Pull
ahead.
mine up, yeah. Pull Dragons up. Here we go. Obviously, number 1. I mean, The Dark Knight, I think the greatest movie ever made, in my opinion.
God, I love when you say. I just love when you say correct.
I'll die on that hill. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. I'm going to go there as well. A lot of people don't know about the Lord of the Rings. They filmed it all at once. Like all the movies, and then cut it up. So The Two Towers, phenomenal movie. I'm going Spider-Man 2. I think it's one of the greatest sequels. Tobey Maguire, Octavius, Mary Jane, his grandma's getting evicted.
Was Kirsten Dunst hot to y'all?
No. I'm not a big redhead guy, though. It's just not me.
Kirsten Dunst just didn't do it to me.
Spider-Man 2, I thought was phenomenal. Then The Godfather Part 2. I'm not a huge fan of the series, I'm going to be honest, but I thought The Godfather Part 2 was extremely good. Then Ocean 12.
You like
like that
Ocean's
one.
The
12?
Boys. I like the Ocean
I like that
series.
one.
Until they put a bunch of women in it and ruined it. But the Ocean's 12 movie is one of my favorite movies to watch.
That's interesting you say it, because Ocean's 13 is one of my favorite movies to watch. I may watch Ocean 13
So
more than
good.
any
They
other.
really are.
So
really
good.
But we're just doing sequels, right? Not threequels, not the
Correct.
third in a trilogy.
Correct.
I don't care for Ocean's 12 as much. I like 11 and 13 better.
Okay.
But you like 12?
I do like 12, yeah.
Good.
I was in a sticky situation. I couldn't do 11 or 13, so it's like, got to go with 12.
Gotta go.
Yeah, got to go with
All right, bring up my list. This is the top 5 sequels right here, all time. A little criteria here. It's not, also, Justine, what's up with number 1 there?
Godfather.
Godfather.
All right.
That reads
Sorry.
good.
That's all right. All right, top 5 sequels all time. I'm going to add a little criteria here.
Okay.
The sequel doesn't necessarily need to be better than the first film for me, but it does need to be a great film on its own right and hopefully explore parts of the story that you were questioning in the first film. So number 1 for me has to be The Godfather Part 2. Both of you guys had that on your list. To me, everybody wanted to know after you watched The Godfather, well, what was Vito Corleone's origin story? Right? That's something that we want to see, and simultaneously getting to see what happens when Michael takes over the family, which his father never wanted. It's going to be one of the most timeless sequels of all time. Number 2, Aliens. It does the same thing. You had this movie, this horror movie directed by Ridley Scott with one alien on a ship that was terrifying. Well, what happens if you go to their home and there's multiple aliens? Add an S on it. That's what you get. And it's rare that you get a sequel directed by a different director that is as good as the first one. Jim Cameron really brought the ruckus on that one. I think Alien and The Godfather are better films than both of these, but to me, they're still the best sequels of all time. The Dark Knight, number 3. I like that you guys had that on your list. I don't know if it'll be as timeless as the first 2, but The Dark Knight was the must-see movie when I was in college. Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker.
The opening scene when they're robbing the bank.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, really.
Unbelievable film. 4, I have The Empire Strikes Back at 4. I mean, 1, it is the sequel in the first trilogy of probably the most famous universe created in cinema history. But I have it at number 4 because it relies on the film before it and the film after it a little bit more. I mean, would you guys love The Empire Strikes Back as much if you didn't know you were going to get salvation with Return of the Jedi, right? Because then it would just be the bad guys win. So it's sandwiched between 2 great films. Has to be in the top 5, though. And then number 5, I'm going a little outside the box, too, with my 5th one. The Color of Money. A lot of people don't think about this. This is actually a sequel to The Hustler. Young Tom Cruise in this. Paul Newman is this. Paul Newman won his Oscar for this movie, and it's a Martin Scorsese film.
I don't think I've seen that.
You may think of gangster films when you think of Martin Scorsese, but that's one of my favorite Martin Scorsese movies, and maybe my favorite movie on this list.
I almost put The Empire Strikes Back in there. Just because I'm a big Star Wars guy. Star Trek, live long and prosper, and I'm watching something else.
5's hard, though. It's hard to leave the Two Towers out, because, that one's phenomenal. Even Kill Bill 2, I was thinking about putting in here.
Bad one.
Never was a big Aliens guy.
Do you know what the number 1 sequel, I looked this up after I made my list, the number 1 sequel, according to Rotten Tomatoes, is? Paddington 2.
Paddington.
Really?
Yeah.
Paddington 2? I never seen Paddington.
What idiots are over there?
Where was The Lion King 2?
I can't even remember. I stopped looking after I saw Paddington 2 was number 1.
Yeah, never a big Aliens guy. I've really enjoyed the Predator movies, though. I was a big Predator guy.
Predator.
Like when Predators are fighting aliens, I'm rooting for the Predator.
bleeds, I can kill it.
I'm rooting for never a big Aliens guy. I really didn't like the movies.
What about Temple of Doom?
Is that an Indiana Jones movie?
Mm-hmm. The second one.
Phenomenal.
You have to ask that?
Yeah, okay, there's like 13 of them. So
They're making a new one.
I like the one with Shia LaBeouf.
Does it look kind of dope? I don't know, yeah.
New Transformers movie, I mean, they're fighting animal robots.
I will always watch Transformers.
I'm sorry.
Because Jason Bay just blows
the American in me can't not watch Transformers.
Yeah,
right?
exactly
Like,
right.
I like when things are
I can tell you,
fast.
I haven't even, I've watched one trailer, I can tell you exactly what happens in that movie. Somebody's just hanging out, then all of a sudden, something crashes or comes out from underneath that's a threat to, society and people and stuff, and they have to call the Transformers, and there's some type of relationship in between the Autobots and the bad guys, and all of a sudden the Transformers get their ass kicked for 70% of the movie, and then at the end, they use the Beast Transformers to help them win.
Ace wants everyone to know his favorite sequel is Sing 2.
Nice.
So much so that
Great
he doesn't
movie.
even watch Sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never seen the first one.
Good for
He
him.
just watched Sing 2.
Good
Toy Story
for
2
him.
is another one that
Toy Story 2 's
I
out
don't
there.
remember
Yeah,
Toy Story
there's a
2.
bunch of them.
Just stop remaking The
Shrek
Lion
2.
King. Like, get out of here.
Shrek 2 is phenomenal.
By the way, they said
Rush Hour 2.
By the way, they said there's a live-action Hercules getting made right now.
Really?
I'll
Who's
watch.
playing Hercules?
I don't know, but I'll watch.
Matthew Roberts says Shrek 2, Rush Hour 2, and Top Gun 2. Don't.
Rush Hour.
Don't put Top Gun in.
Rush Hour is a
anywhere near
great movie series. God love it.
Cal Kenny says no Fast and Furious, hashtag sarcasm.
No Fast and Furious.
What about Ratchet Dewan says Airbud 2 was good.
Golden Receiver.
Chrissy says Back to the Future. Come on, people.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, we can only do 5, all right? There's a lot of really good ones. Back to the Future is fantastic. You brought up Indiana Jones. They make a flubber, too?
I don't think. Watchtower, $2 donation says Last of the Mohicans.
Good one.
Braveheart.
Braveheart's dope. Braveheart's a sequel to what, Scared Heart?
Braveheart and Last of the Mohicans?
I don't think Last of the Mohicans is a sequel, is it?
Well, you didn't see the first one, the first of the Mohicans?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
So Chris C says, $2 donation. Appreciate it, Chris. Says, it's a damn shame Back to the Future 2 isn't here. Yeah, honest with you.
My buddy was talking about that one last night when I called him. That was his favorite sequel.
All right, I'm going to get to bets.
All right, real quick. Jacob Lindsay, $5 donation. The Godfather's most overrated movie of all time. Michael's a terrible protagonist.
Oh, hold on. I just fell down because I feel like I got shot.
Coming in hot.
Jacob, look, appreciate the dono, buddy, but you're wrong. Okay. Try not to land on the microphone there. Our bets, as you know, are brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings. So download the app right now and sign up with code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers make a $5 bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. All right, here's what I got tonight. Yesterday, went 1-1. I want to give a shout out to Florida and LSU. Arkansas, I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, now I do. TCU's just better than y'all. Here's what I got today. We got NBA Finals. Give me Heat, Nuggets, over 214.5. All right, that's at -110. Then look, Max Strus came through for me last time. All right, so I'm going Max Strus over 16 combined points, rebounds, and assists at +100. There's a long month. All right, one last month. Very excited about it. David, what do you have?
All right, I'm going to ride with the Rangers again. Money line hit for me yesterday with our boy Swanee, and the Booster Club was out there at the Rangers game. That's -155 tonight. And then I'm going to take Novak Djokovic against Kachanov. I'm going to take a money line and to have the most aces and under 31.5 games. That's +240.
All right, first thing, Jake, the NBA game's tomorrow.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Wednesday's tonight at 7:30. Wait, today's
Tuesday. All right, NBA game is tomorrow. See if Max Strus hits that tonight. All right, my bets. Give me the Dodgers money line, Yankees money line, Atlanta Braves, the New York Mets under 10.5. That's all parlay, a little 3-legger. That's going to be +340. I went 1-1 yesterday. Thank you for the Padres for figuring out. Panthers, what are you doing? Then give me the Royals +1.5. Little Zach Greinke on the mound. You're on the road.
Really?
Yeah, -160. Zach, just keep them close, baby. I think the Royals, I don't think you'd be crazy. Go sprinkle a little bit of Royals on money line in this game. I believe they're going off at +120.
All right, Ace. It's going to take the Yankees -1.5. That's
Good for you, Ace.
110. It's going to take the Indians money line at -120. Cody, Ben, I will tweet out my bets for today. I don't know why I thought it was Wednesday. I was so excited to take Max Strus tonight. But it's just part of it. All right, that's part of life. Sometimes the day isn't what you thought. Look at our president. So, as we got some time left, give me the motivational music. It's victory speech time.
Are you going to stand up and do it? Or sit
No,
up
I'm
and do
going
it?
to sit right here and just look at everybody in the eyes. Because I got something to say. I'm going to wait for it. It's an emotional time. All right. You can call me a lot of things. You can call me a French spy. You can call me the Ribbler. But you know what you have to call me after last month? Winner. Leave them tied for the lead in months 1. Think with your son, David. You know, the oldest one. And then your beautiful daughter, Ava, who I consider myself an uncle of. But that's neither here nor there. You look at me as the people's champ. Y'all know I'm American to the core. Hell, I was on Normandy Beach. I saw Omaha. I saw Utah. At some point, I've picked Utah a lot, and they've come through. That was a fight to the finish. I didn't take the lead till May 30th. But we all know big dogs break late. Winners make moves late, and money talks late. So am I down right now? A little bit. Am I out? Never. So just understand, when you look at the champ, 2023 so far, it's the kid, the chosen one, the king, middle chair. Never forget it. Thanks, guys.
God, that speech sucked.
I bet it did to you.
God,
I bet it did to you, loser.
It's amazing you went to Omaha Beach and came back and talked about how awesome the French is. Right?
That's
All right, poll.
Oh, boy.
Are aliens real?
Are aliens
Yes.
real?
Or no? Take your time. At 30-second shot clock on this.
Are you?
They said no, 51%.
No, 51%.
Yes, 59%.
Are aliens real? No, 39%.
Woo!
Yes,
They got you, David.
61%. They believe. They believe.
They know.
Freeway Jared says, Jake with the Kirby Smart vibes right there. I'm ready, coach. Put me in.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. You want to get motivated? I'll motivate you. Do it again.
Let's go to the Hayford. It says Footloose and its remake count. They remake/sequel is pretty solid.
The Footloose?
I've never been a fan of this like movies that are just dancing. Like,
Yeah.
I've just never been. There's never really like.
Just dance. So you're not a big like Step Up? Step Up 2 in the
No,
streets?
I'm not. Cal
God,
Kennedy,
I watched that one movie.
Cal Kennedy
Reed made
says
me
The
watch that
Sandlot
movie.
2.
No. Ew. Kyle,
We should do a
you're
top
better
5
than
worst
that.
sequels.
We
Yes.
Mo Bama says Incredibles 2.
That's not that
Frozen
one.
2.
Not two. Those are good films. Sandlot 2. Kyle, get out. Get out. I can't believe you said that. I cannot believe those words came out of your mouth onto that screen.
Texas Set says Blaine is immediately canceled for liking Shia LaBeouf Indiana Jones movie. It was good.
Shia LaBeouf's good.
Like, he's a good actor.
Shia LaBeouf is a really good actor. Insane person, but I think that's what makes you a good actor.
The Hayford says, y'all like Transformers because of Megan Fox, period. No,
Now, typically, you would be right, but the Transformers just a ton of action, so that's why I like it.
Tribunal 88 says, when we make French jokes about Jake, we need to start referring to him as Jacques.
That'd be Jacques.
Jacques.
No, it'd be Jacques.
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 Okay, I'm not Spanish.
You sound like a dog with peanut butter in
No,
your mouth.
I'm just sorry. I'd listened in school.
Formula. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like the head
All the gayness,
head actor.
I'm about to pass out. Oh, man. Oh, what a great movie. Sidney North said The Last Mohicans wasn't the first book in the series, but the only one to get a movie.
Okay, so we're talking about
so-
movie sequels here.
Yeah.
Movie sequels here. I didn't read a lot of books.
Who is
Especially
Ryan?
if they made movies
What is
about it.
Braveheart?
That's why everybody's like, oh, Harry Potter. Harry Potter,
idea.
the book is so much better than the movie. No, it's not.
See,
You insane?
I'm just not a big reader of
You
things.
see how long those books are? I read one Harry Potter book, then I found out they're making movies about it.
SBG Trust Tree, Flaming Dragon in French is Dragon
La Flamme.
Flamboyant. Dragon Flamboyant. According to the Google Translate, so this Friday is going to be Dragon Flamboyant Friday. We're not doing that.
I'm down with that.
Who is Ryan MCC? Everybody's asking. Hey, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan is a great film. Don't discount it because of
that one where they kidnap
anti-Trekkie
Spock?
bias. Huh?
Anti-shrinking bias?
Anti-Trekkie?
Look, I'm not an anti-Trekkie. I just think Star Wars is better than that. Am I wrong?
Cars 2, great movie. Conan's the only one who mentioned The Empire Strikes Best. His list is the best.
There you go.
You know, that feels right. That feels right there. Good job,
All right,
Jack.
all right, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Check out that merch. We got that Flaming Dragon candle coming soon as well. Go get the Get Off My Lawn candle. It smells like Clint Eastwood mixed with your lawn. Make sure again as well. All right, we have gosh, totally forget some new merch coming along the way. I don't want to spoil it though. But like I said, make sure you subscribe. Follow us on all social medias. Go follow @Crane Company on Twitter. Follow all us as well and Instagram. We're having a really good time over there, really getting the vibe of it. Almost to 100,000 on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed there as well. And like the chances of the NBA game being tonight, to change those bets and look at the calendar. We're going, gone.